companies, for startups, HR investment and putting in money into HR business practices takes a backseat. They're like, oh, let me put in some more money into performance marketing. Let me put in some more money into getting leads in this event. And somewhere the budgeting around HR tech kind of takes a backseat. I mean, so if you can help our viewers in understanding that while they're scaling the company, see, like somebody who's like at the first 1 million in ARR, then growing to a 5 to 10 million in ARR, and then further increasing to 100 million plus, and then moving towards that the unicorn mark, and then getting listed. How can they see? How can they keep integrating HCM in a scaled manner, in a laddered manner, so that it is not a much of a cost impact on them? Or do you feel that no, you got to do it from the start? What's your take on it?
So just like a startup could grow from one employee to 1,000 employees to a million, similarly, HR requirements also grow in that same proportion. Now, the good news here is that the investment that you need to make in HR to manage all those operations also grows at a similar rate. It's not the price that the cost that's going to be on a business will be proportional to one employee. So when do we start? I think there are a lot of geographic differences in when a startup gets that HCM support, and that's to do a lot with just the cost of labor. I think in the US, hiring labor to manage your HR tasks is actually quite expensive, and it might be easier for a small business owner to just use technology rather than hire someone to do these tasks. And this technology is commoditized. There are so many players in the market that offer HR tech software to do this. But let's take an example, right, of small, mid-size, and enterprise clients and their requirements and how they can scale.
Yes.
Smaller companies have like very low requirements, significantly lower than mid-size. They are focusing on fundamental labor laws like minimum wage, workplace safety. A business owner here is an HR admin, like I said. So when I'm thinking about ADP or another HR tech company, they got to create a very simple product that is easy to use for someone who doesn't understand HR. And also, these business owners need to go in, use your product in the least possible time, which is a big change from what other tech companies do. They want you to spend maximum time on your product.
Mm-hmm.
And most startups here or tech-enabled businesses want to avoid the headache of compliance policies, want to avoid the heartache that comes with, hey, maybe I don't know X, maybe I don't know Y. How do I, do I need to ask ChatGPT on how to navigate these labor laws? No, a SaaS-based software would do it for you. And I feel, especially in the US, employees, even a company with one employee, should start using an HCM system. When you go up market to, let's say, the mid market segment, let's say between 50 to maybe 1,000 employees, these have more established and structured HR policies. So they have structured ways to implement employee onboarding, to do performance reviews, to send their HR handbook to their employees, which is also a legal requirement, and of course, develop their employees, do learning, and the policies that you need at this stage need to begin to reflect a more diverse workforce and need to make sure that employee engagement and retention is high. Otherwise, you might have a big problem on your hands with employees with bad morale. But when I go mid market, these softwares are more like ADP Workforce Now or Paycor or Paylocity, and what I covered before with startups, it's more like ADP Run. It's more like Gusto or Bamboo HR. But when I travel even further up market to enterprises, maybe with more than 1,000 employees, there is significant emphasis on HR policies, regulatory compliance, because there are multiple jurisdictions here. There are federal laws, local laws, state laws. And here, again, an intricacy is that these solutions are customizable. They're customized often. So if I'm an enterprise, I look at Workday and ADP and SAP no longer as just my vendors. They're not vendors, they are partners. They help you make your workforce more productive. There's a lot of custom implementation, sometimes even product builds that these partners are doing for you. Um, there is a very large volume of data, employee data across all
Absolutely.
departments. So they are also often higher priced. For example, could be in the $300, $500 range per employee. Uh, and for example, Workday. It let's take another example, right? In a partnership in an enterprise, they could hire Workday to do their HR. They could
Mm-hmm.
hire ADP to pay their employees. They could hire SAP to do ERP operations like finance, procurement,
Mm-hmm.
and Salesforce to manage customer relationships and to have it tagged back to their HR workers, and for to have ADP to pay them. So this tech stack to work together and communicate becomes really important.